became the global home of the social business movement. After its first 8 editions, we welcomed our family in India, Thailand, Malaysia, and the Philippines. And when the world stood still during the pandemic, we gathered online. This is where conversations became collaborations, where ideas became social businesses, and where challenges became opportunities. This is where we gathered as delegates, speakers, volunteers, and organizers, only to part as lifelong friends. When the world speaks the language of division, let us speak the language of peace. When the world faces uncertainty, let us choose hope. And that choice begins here today. Welcome to the 16th Social Business Day.
Good morning.
Hello, everybody. It's nice to see familiar faces from yesterday show up as well.
Welcome back to the day 2 of Social Business Day 2026. Day 1 was packed with interesting and inspiring conversations with announcements, product launch, existing local and global updates, lots of good food, great tea and coffee.
I love the coffee.
Yeah? Who loved the coffee?
That's not enough people. Maybe we should shut down the coffee space. Do you want us to shut down the coffee space?
Sorry, you didn't like the coffee. Okay, and we have also launched the satellite initiative of celebrating 50 years of Grameen Bank and 20 years since Nobel Peace Prize was awarded to Professor Muhammad Yunus and Grameen Bank jointly.
And also, we had a really fun dance party. Who was part of the dance party yesterday? Can we see a hand? Can we hear a hoot hoot? All right, wow, not too many people. Maybe we had to do it again today at some point.
And
who was your favorite dancer of yesterday?
The birthday boy. Happy birthday, Professor Yunus, sir. We have heard also from a lot of our family members and friends and everybody who's joining Social Business Day for the first time. We hope you had a good day. If you have feedback, feel free to reach out to us, to all my colleagues at Yunus Center, so that we can treat you well. If you need more food while you eat, feel free to ask to my friends. We are really great hosts, and we'll try to make sure that you are treated and fed well.
All right, should we get started with day 2's formal event?
Sure, let's do.
Amazing. So first up, we have Healing Through Harmony. That sounds exciting. We would like to welcome on stage none other than Dr. Ahmed Arman Siddiqui, CEO and board member of Grameen Health Tech Limited and acting CEO of Shamadan Services Bangladesh. Could we have a warm round of applause, please?
Let us welcome back the Shuki guy.
Thank you so much. Happy birthday, sir. Many happy returns of the day. Can I have one microphone with me, please? So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what a beautiful day is it, isn't it? And why it's a beautiful day? By now, we all know that, though we thought we will pretend till the evening, but we all know that why it's a beautiful day. It's one of the most auspicious day. And I would like to welcome you happily as the shukiest morning to today's session, Healing Through Harmony. We are honored to explore how arts and music can contribute to health, healing, and community well-being. It is my pleasure to introduce our distinguished speakers from Sing for Hope. May I please welcome Monica Yunus, co-founder and co-executive director, Sing for Hope. Can we see her on the screen? Kamel Zamora, co-founder and co-executive director, Sing for Hope. And my favorite, Liz Cherry Noyes, Director of Arts in Public Health and Sing for Hope. Hi, can we hear your voice? Good evening. Good evening and good day. Okay, Monica, you can hear me. Camille, can you speak a little bit? Hello. Wonderful to see you. Thank you, guys. So we are delighted to begin today's session with a special documentary, "Healing Towards Harmony," an inspiring journey that showcases how music, arts, and human connection can transform lives, foster well-being, and create healthier, more compassionate communities. So let us enjoy the AV. Can we have the AV, please?
The world is smiling in public, but suffering in silence. When pain has no language, silence becomes the illness. But even the deepest silence can heal by music. Sing for Hope, where art heals beyond medicine. While medicine treats the body, music touches the soul. A hospital can be more than treatment. Music unites hearts beyond age, race, and borders. But can music heal the silent pain of Bangladeshis? In Bangladesh, music lives in every soul, every DNA. But music is for every soul, different genres, different songs, to connect and heal. But how can music become part of healthcare, turning emotions into healing?
আমি জানতাম না সবুজ শাক মিষ্টি কুমড়া না খাওয়ালে রাতখানা রোগ হয় মাসুম শিশু অন্ধ হয়ে যাইতে পারে কোন কোন মা বোনেরা কয়
In 2026, music carries preventive care to every heartbeat of remote Bangladesh. When health is difficult to talk about, music can start the conversation. With Sing for Hope and Shuki, Bangladesh can sing together and heal together. When Bangladesh sings, Bangladesh heals.
When Bangladesh sings, Bangladesh heals. Thank you so much for your humble patience. Now, may we have our fellow speakers on the screen, and I leave it over to our own Monica Yunus to express her vision. Yes.
Just over a year ago, I was delighted to participate in Bangladesh in a meeting with leaders who were consulting about the future of health and well-being. I really wondered if I was really expected that meeting to lead to something much larger. Did we have the slides? Awesome, thank you.
I think we need to play that.
Well, that was a little moment all together in the Shuki offices last.
No, let us try one more time, Alamin.
It's cute, you'll love it.
No, you can.
Come back to it. Armand, we'll come back to it.
Sure.
So at Sing for Hope, for nearly 25 years, we have worked from a simple belief that the arts are not a luxury, they're a human need and a powerful force for well-being, connection, and health. But let's define what health is. Health is not only the absence of disease, it's the ability to function in community with dignity, purpose, hope. Sing for Hope has brought artists to places where people often feel isolated or unseen. Hospitals, community health settings, schools, public spaces, and care environments. Across our work, we've seen something profound. When people make music, they create, they move, they tell stories, or they simply experience beauty together, something changes. And what excited me immediately about Shuki was that we recognized a shared instinct. Shuki is reimagining access to care and well-being in Bangladesh. Sing for Hope has spent decades exploring how artists can support health outcomes and strengthen communities. And today, those worlds are beginning to converge. The field of arts and health is experiencing extraordinary growth globally. Researchers, including Professor Daisy Stanford, in her new book, Art Cure, are synthesizing a growing body of evidence showing that engagement with arts is associated with improvements across mental health, stress reduction, social connection, and overall well-being. So what once felt intuitive is increasingly becoming very measurable. This emerging partnership asks, what happens when community-based health innovation meets artist-powered well-being? This partnership started with the meeting in Bangladesh, but really it started with a shared question. What helps people thrive? What happens when community-based health innovation meets artist-powered well-being? And how might lessons from Sing for Hope support local artists and communities in Bangladesh? And how might Bangladesh shape the future of this work globally? And that possibility brought us here.
Thank you, Monica, and happy birthday, Professor Yunus.
So can we see, just 1 minute, can we see Camille on the screen, please? Yeah, Camille, please continue.
Wonderful. At Sing for Hope, we often say that the arts are an underutilized resource for human thriving, and we see artists as the creators of a civic infrastructure for that thriving. For 25 years, Sing for Hope has worked to activate artists as creative leaders in communities. This work has taken many forms, from public art and our Sing for Hope pianos, to youth programs in schools, to our healing through the arts initiatives serving patients, caregivers, and healthcare environments. One thing that we have learned in this is that artists bring more than just performance. They bring moments of reflection, connection, dignity, and joy, especially when those things feel in short supply. And importantly, this work is not about importing a program from one country to another. It is about building local capacity. The opportunity we see with Shuki is to support artists and health leaders in Bangladesh in developing approaches that are culturally rooted, evidence-informed, and designed for and by local communities. We believe some of the most exciting innovations in arts and health will come from partnerships exactly like ours, where disciplines meet and where learning moves in both directions. To share more about how this could take shape in practice, I'd like to introduce Sing for Hope's Director of Arts and Health, Liz Chirinos.
Thank you, Camille. At Sing for Hope, we ask ourselves, how do we move from inspiring moments to sustainable systems? And for us, one answer is through our creative workforce development training. So many artists want to do this work, but they don't know where to start. Over time, we have developed frameworks for preparing artists to work responsibly and effectively in healthcare and community settings, grounded in public health principles, trauma awareness, facilitation skills, ethics, evaluation, and participant-centered practice. In this partnership's early vision, we see an opportunity to explore a train-the-trainer approach. This means equipping local artists and leaders in Bangladesh with adaptable tools, sharing practices, and building confidence. The goal is strengthening ecosystems where artists become collaborators in well-being. We are especially excited by the possibility of learning alongside Shuki, understanding local priorities, identifying where creative engagement may support existing health efforts, and co-designing approaches that fit the communities they serve. Because if we do this well, the result is a new model built together. And with that, I'm delighted to invite Dr. Arman Siddiqui from Shuki to share more.
Thank you so much, Liz. Thank you very much. So what drew us to Sing for Hope was the understanding that health is not about more than treatment. It is about people, dignity, connection, and community. So today we are introducing a partnership between Sing for Hope and Shuki. Tomorrow we hope to see artists and health leaders across Bangladesh creating moments of connection and well-being together. To celebrate this moment, can I please humbly request our Group Chairman, Ms. Asraful Hassan, and our very own Professor Mohammad Yunus up to the stage while we inaugurate this Sing for Hope initiative together. Along with that, I would love to welcome Dr. Alamin, the man behind this concept, and Khayyam Shanu Sandhi, the local leader, the local musician, the maestro, who will actually help us to replicate Sing for Hope learning curve to the local community and music, and we will roll it out. Along with it, I will request the MT members of Grameen Health Tech to be on the stage and have this moment of launch. Thank you very much. So I will give this microphone to Sir. Sir did a magical connotation in 2024 SBD. Can we recall our Filipino friends? The 2024 connotation that Sir mentioned? So, do you remember, Lamiapa and everyone, the last time that we did with the Shuki, we said what? Shuki! So, one more time, sir, would you ring the bell for us? And that is the...
Wow, lot of orders.
1, 2, 3, Shuki! No, I need one more time. 1, 2, 3.
Shuki!
One more time.
Shuki!
Thank you. We inaugurate thus the Sing for Hope. Thank you very much. Thank you, Monica. Thank you, Liz. Thank you, Carmen.
Thank you. It's wonderful to see Sing for Hope joining us. Monica and her friend and the group Sing for Hope. They're all here participating with us and opening a new dimension to the whole idea of healthcare. Healthcare is all about doctors and medicines and hospitals. Most important thing is what you feel, how you make you feel comfortable. That's how the music plays a wonderful role. We do it naturally. Nobody teaches us in schools, in medical schools or any professional schools that the music has anything to do with healthcare. But traditionally, we do it all the time. Even in places with abject poverty, people do that. People of any economic status, people do that, particularly women. They respond to situations by putting words into music. When a child is born, there's lots of joy, the child is born. And you see in the family, somebody is singing, somebody is taking care of the baby, singing, and lullabies are always there. Nobody tells them. But it's very comforting. It's a very important thing to build up the relationship between the child and the mother and the family and so on. So this goes very well. You see in the villages, as we go along, in case of death in the family, you express your grief, but somebody will be singing all the stories about the relationship with the person who died and the person who's singing, all words put into music. She cries, but in music. Nobody teaches. She makes up her own rhymes, own stories about the relationship, about the hardship that she will go through. It's natural to women particularly to express herself and she does it in a very loud way so that everybody can hear her. And all the words are made up instantaneously, how to express herself in music. So that tradition, that feeling is there, but somehow academic medical thing didn't pay much attention. I shouldn't say that it never recognized, probably they do, but it's not formally integrated in the medical lessons and also in the practices of the music. Sing for Hope goes into hospitals, sings with the patients, cheer them up so that they feel good. And feeling good is very important for patients so that they forget their problems that they're facing. They feel good seeing each other, singing together, and listening to the songs and music provided by somebody else. A soothing effect on the health is very important that we see happening every day. So this is something that I'm very happy that Sing for Hope and Shuki got together to bring this something ignored into the practice of it. Congratulations, Shuki. Wonderful effort.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
To do that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Arman. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the organizers of the conference, I'm thrilled to welcome Mr. Nahid Islam, Honorable Member of Parliament and convener of National Citizens Party, who joins us today. What a great initiative and partnership between Shuki and Sing for Hope. I encourage all of you to use the time during your lunch, your tea and coffee break when you go to the marketplace to talk to people so that you can also explore further partnerships. Moving on, we turn to another health innovation, the Grameen Kullan. Grameen Kullan is launching their health operating system, and we are truly delighted to be joined by Mr. AKM Moinuddin Chaudhry, Managing Director of Grameen Kullan. Let us hear from Moin Bhai.
সবার সুখে দুঃখে মায়ের হাসি মুখে সোনার রোদে হাসে আমাদের।
Assalamu alaikum, sir. Mr. Naib, assalamu alaikum. Nice to meet you after a long time. Can we have the slide space? This song that you've heard today is this song written for Gramin Kolan, specially dedicated to the healthcare assistants, the 635 women who go door to door in every houses and leaving their children, leaving their parents, the babies. They take the maximum hardship in their life. So we have prepared this song for them because once they walk, they feel happy about it and it's their life. It totally tells them what life they lead in that particular area. I'm not here for that purpose, I'm for a different purpose. But I wanted to give them the biggest tribute because they are wheels on which we run. Thank you. See, the Gramin Kollan, we have become computerized, but what's next? There is a question that I would like to come, but let me go through a few slides so that you will understand. As we have told yesterday that this is our current status, that we have almost 155 health centers, and by 2030, we are going to have 300 health centers in Bangladesh across almost 64 districts. Now we have gone up to 40 districts with 5,000 villages, over 5,000. I thank Gramin Communications for making Gramin Kollan absolutely computerized. In the rural area, you will see each and every health center, they are computerized. Let me tell you what they've done for us. This is what Gramin Communication has done for us. Fully computerized healthcare systems, cloud-based electronic, I'm talking about this, cloud-based electronic health record with executive dashboard. That means in my office, when I sit, I can totally see what's happening in 155 health centers from my office. The patient's portal, we call it electronic health record, distributed pathology systems, digital touch, sample collection and processing. You can read all this. Interestingly, you will also find live sample tracking systems. And this is something when you drop down menu, if you write M, the malaria will come just like that. So that's called computerized provider order entry, the laboratory information systems, and pharmacy information systems. And at the end, which is very important for our self-sustainability, is the revenue cycle management. We have target versus achievement. And this is monitored every day. We have transformed our laboratory, as I said yesterday, that basic 155 laboratories we have, and 93 of them have started with the hormone testing, which is an additional gift to the poor women who never had an opportunity to do their hormone tests, especially the pregnant mothers. And we have done one molecular lab because of the test, the cervical cancer screening program that we're doing. And also, very humbly, I would like to say that in the village area, Gramin Kollan has gone first to establish such molecular lab. So, everything is very beautiful. But I have a question after that. Look at our prescription. This is how it generates. Look at the hormone test report. Look at the other reports like the pregnancy profile. These are not this is a fictitious report because we don't want to break the ethics. But still, we could not make the poor people happy because we are a bit dissatisfied as they do not understand this language. So what is next? They are going back with a confusion that if they have understood everything or not, seeing the report. So what's next? This is what is coming. So Grameen Colon is entering into the era of artificial intelligence. May I have a big hand, please? Thank you. Why I'm trying to bring this, rather, Grameen Colon once said, because we want to speak with the language that the poor people speak. And the language is as such that when you have this kind of reports, let them be happy. Let us be satisfied that we have given the best of the business class support sitting in the economy class. That's something I'm promising to the Social Business Day. And next Social Business Day 2027, if I'm alive, when I'm here, I'm going to show you how we have done it. Thank you very much. Please hear this song once again. Thank you.
স্বপ্ন দেখায় আলো সবাই থাকুক ভালো।
Thank you so much for that lovely presentation. And I really, really love that song as well. Does anybody else love the song? Can we hear from you? Maybe a show of hands? All right, Moin Wei, I think a lot of people love your music. Amazing. For our next chapter for today, I am super excited to announce that we will continue to focus on healthcare. So ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mr. Ashraful Hassan, Chairman, Grameen Group, and Managing Director and CEO of Grameen Telecom Trust, Mr. Shamsul Haq Ahmed, Managing Director, Green Healthcare Services, Bangladesh, Mr. MD Moinul Hassan, General Manager of Grameen Healthcare Services, Bangladesh, Hate Moinhan, Executive Director and CEO of Seva Foundation, who will share how meaningful collaborations is bringing care and essential services to those who need it most. Could we have a warm round of applause to welcome them on stage, please?
Very good morning, dear audience, and happy birthday, sir. Many, many happy return of the day. So, I welcome you all to this part of our presentation, which will be covering few aspects of healthcare, mostly relating to Grameen Healthcare Services and also Grameen Canadian College of Nursing. So to start with, it is quite a happening journey of 2 decades. And it's a journey of togetherness for about, again, 2 decades. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am talking about Seva Foundation and Grameen Healthcare Services working together for nearly 2 decades. Grameen Healthcare Services expresses its deep appreciation and acknowledges the contribution made by Seva Foundation to its journey so far. But today, here we gathered not only to celebrate the history, but also forging the future journey between us. We are thrilled to announce a powerful new chapter in this journey. Through this landmark memorandum of understanding, Seva is committing $500,000 in dedicated funding, which goes alongside world-class clinical and operational expertise and to achieve few new monuments. And I must mention that what are the new fronts we are opening with this signing of the MOU. The first and foremost, it comes to the skill level development, upskilling and upscaling of healthcare leaders, and targeting to our GCCN students, where the enrichment of the laboratories will be taking place very intensely. And next, it comes to introducing the global best practices, and also providing some cutting-edge equipments into the Grameen Healthcare Service hospitals, eye hospitals, to make it more efficient and more patient-friendly. So with these two fronts, Grameen Healthcare proudly enters the Vision 2030 of Seva Foundation, where it says, transforming 1 million lives. So without taking much time, may I kindly request CEO Seva Foundation, Kate Mohian, and our Chairman, Grameen Healthcare Services, Mr. Ashraful Hassan, to sign the MOU, please. Last page to open. Exchange the files. Shake hand and exchange the files. May I now request Ms. Kate Moyan, the CEO of Seva Foundation, to express a few words about this new journey and new chapter what we are opening today. Please, over to you.
I'll be brief. You have a big day ahead of you. Happy birthday, Professor, on behalf of everyone from the Seva Foundation, our founders, the board of directors, and our staff worldwide. I think the only thing I would add to what the chairman said earlier is that we're really honored and humbled to be able to partner with Grameen as we look forward to 2030, where as an organization, our social enterprise worldwide will be serving over 100 million people. They'll get their sight back, which is an extraordinary opportunity for everyone. And we'll, as an organization, we have about 400 hospitals worldwide. We serve 9 million clients a year and patients a year and health providers. And we're very honored that the Grameen system is a leader, and to all of them, look forward to learning from you, partnering with you, and solving this problem together.
Thank you, Ms. Kate Mohian. Now I request Chairman, Grameen Healthcare Services, Mohammed Ashraful Hassan, to speak something about this signing. Over to you, sir.
Good morning. Happy birthday to you, sir. Seva Foundation
Stand here. Ashraful will get down.
is with us since its inception of our eye healthcare journey. Their continuous support help us to expand our program and serve and go for different services. We are happy and honored to have with us Ms. Kate from Seva Foundation. their support in different fields like institutional development, development of skills, facilitate international exposure for exchange of knowledge, surgery, especially free surgery for disadvantaged section of the population. When we start our Vision Center, 2021, their support, we established a lot of Vision Center, numbers of Vision Center. Today we signed an MOU. Whatever support present now, it will be continue. In addition, they will support for modernization of our laboratory of Grameen Caledonian College of Nursing, procurement of modern instrument and equipments for eye care hospital, and digitalization of whole process. Thank you again for Seva and his Dhaka team. Their efforts, continuous support will go further to help poor peoples in eye care sector. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
We are truly excited for this partnership between Grameen Healthcare Services and SEPA. Ladies and gentlemen, now we will begin our next plenary 3, moving on from healthcare to finance. The plenary is titled as Finance for Peace, Redesigning Systems that Work for All. And finance is the foundation of this opportunity. Professor Yunus keeps talking about entrepreneurship and why capital is key. In this plenary, we'd like to discuss what are the things that we need to do so that we can redesign how finance comes to entrepreneurs and people so that it can be used for the best. This plenary will be moderated by Mr. Suresh Krishna, who spent 15 years running India's largest microfinance institution, learning how to move capital towards those left behind by conventional banks. Now, as the CEO of Navaka Social Business Fund, is redesigning finance itself. Suresh will be joined by Tasmina Rahman, who has devoted 3 decades of working on financial inclusion. As Managing Director of Grameen Trust, she has expanded the Grameen approach to 44 countries and supported about 56,000 young entrepreneurs. My panelists will be joined by Mr. Philip Guichandut, who has spent a lifetime bridging Europe and the Global South, believing that finance is a development tool. As General Secretary of Grameen Credit Agricole Foundation, he channels European resources and expertise towards building the financial systems. Our next speaker is Muhammad Fazlul Kadir, who has shaped how Bangladesh thinks about finance, not as profit extraction, but as a pathway to dignity and opportunity. As Managing Director of PKSF, he has built one of the world's most innovative development finance models. They'll also be joined by Sardar Akhtar Hamid, who now leads Grameen Bank. His journey through Bangladesh's financial sector has given him deep wisdom about the topic. Last but not the least, we'll also be joined by Dr. Edsel Almanza Ramos, who leads a network reshaping how finance support humans through card MRI. Let us give a huge round of applause for the speakers of this session.
So good morning and happy birthday, Professor, once again. Uh, it's the first plenary of the day. I think a lot has been discussed yesterday and a lot of thoughts have been already kindled for all of us. But today's topic is very important and it's being discussed at the appropriate time. The world today is with so much of conflicts. I'm sure it is affecting all of us. Each one of us has been affected from the conflicts what we have been seeing and experiencing. In fact, a lot of times we did not even know whether we're going to be traveling or not traveling because whether we'll be held up somewhere. I'm sure all of us in various times we have experienced it. So in order to build peace, how do we use finance in this? I think in this panel here, there's a lot of experience working with finance, and they've all been working on how do we reduce poverty, how do we help the poor, how do we use finance to be or make the world a peaceful place. I think my panel is very experienced, not much. I think when Sajib was introducing, you could find that each one has done so much of work. I think I'm very honored to be moderating this panel. And, my earlier panel is, moderating was supposed to be done by Alex. He's unfortunately sick. So I would be playing dual roles. One is I'll also be presenting, sharing some thoughts of mine later, after some time, and also I'll be moderating. So we are given about, we have 45 minutes left for our panel. Of course, we had 1 hour, but because of time constraint, we have to close by 11:15 is what I was told. So let's, without much delay, I think I would like my panelists to speak more than me. Of course, I will also share one part of my experience in the last 1 year, what we have been doing differently. So we'll start with Tasneema. I think you have been part of Grameen Trust and supporting various financial institutions across the globe who have replicated Grameen Bank. And I think the Grameen model has gone across the world, which has been pioneered by Dr. Yunus and from Bangladesh to the whole world. So can you please share your examples and experience and how you have been able to contribute to the peace building and social businesses using the methods which you have been implementing in Bangladesh?
Thank you, Suresh. Assalamu alaikum and good morning. Happy birthday, sir. Grameen Trust actually replicating microcredit program in 44 countries through 155 organizations in the diverse social, economic, and cultural context. I can share 2 examples, 2 success stories of our program. One from the most developed economies in the United States, Grameen America, and one from Yemen, challenging environment, conflict-affected region. So Grameen America was set up in 2008 under the leadership of Professor Muhammad Yunus, and it provides microcredit to the poor women, especially the undocumented Hispanic groups, Black women, and they reached during these 18.5 years, they reached more than 275,000 women and disbursed more than 7.31 billion US dollar, and their outstanding is $500 million. And the most important thing is they are maintaining close to 100% repayment rate with a below 1% portfolio at risk, that is 0.64 only. And last year they disbursed 1.64 billion US dollar, and this year they are planning to disburse 2 billion US dollar, and they plan to disburse 40 billion US dollar by 2033. So amazing numbers, remarkable achievement, and their business, their growth. If you can see their website, you will see the success stories of many members. The members who start with very small loans now become the owner of restaurant, big cafe, and saloon, taxi plates. So I would like to share one story, short story of one of the successful members named Bertha, who started her life working in a bakery along with her husband. She dreamed of having her own bakery. So she left the job with the bakery and she transformed a part of her house into kitchen, small kitchen. And she starts selling donuts to her neighbors, families, and friends. Then she heard about Grameen America in 2014. She took a loan, and from then she never need to turn back. So she expanded her business. Now 5 workers are working in her bakery. She has a bakery and cafe. And also on a busy day, she produces about 400 boxes of cookies in Mexican style in her bakery. And she purchased a first family home. So this is a success. And also if we go to Yemen, Grameen Yemen Foundation, which started its operation in 2020, they have already supported more than 13,000 women. And they besides microcredit, they provide also other support services, like they provide loans for water reservoir tank, then also for solar system, and they also provide educational materials for their children, and they also have healthcare services. So in Yemen, Grameen Yemen Foundation also implementing Nobin program, that is entrepreneurship development program. There was also one Nobin entrepreneur named Aisha, who had a skill of tailoring, but she doesn't have fund to start a business on her own. So in 2022, when she learned about Grameen Yemen Foundation, she took a loan from there for about 75,000 Yemeni rial, and with that, with 50,000 rial, she bought a machine, and with the remaining amount, she bought the clothing materials. So from then, she never stopped, and she is now very successful entrepreneur and having 5 workers working in her tailoring shop. Thank you.
Thank you. It is so wonderful to see that and how a little finance which is provided to these entrepreneurs can actually take care of so much of needs of these people. In fact, if people are economically engaged and they are able to take care of their lives, we will be looking towards peace of the whole world. Thank you for that. Now I'd like to ask Akhtar, can I... You have just stepped into the shoes of very large people who have actually built this whole organization. I know it's very challenging and there will be high expectations on you. But there is, in the last few years, with all your experience working across various sectors, like especially FMCG to trade this thing, and banking and retail banking, and now with microfinance. So what has been your learnings, or what do you want to share with all of us? The kind of changes in the management which has happened in the Grameen Bank, and with new technologies which is coming up, not only just in terms of the institutional technologies, even your clients have started using a lot of technology. So how is bank responding? How are you as a new person into this whole system? How are you ensuring the old traditional values are kept intact, at the same time adapting to the new challenges and the new requirements and the new needs, the new ways of doing things which is coming up from the clients?
Yeah, thank you. First of all, Sir Shubho Janmodin from Grameen Bank on behalf of Grameen Bank. As you said that we have emerged into a new journey, and when I had this mammoth responsibility of leading this bank, and the first thing what I noticed is this bank is so much of paper oriented, everywhere paper, paper and paper. So, for any transformation, it is the transformation that you need to do within yourself first, make an example, and then roll it out to others so that they feel that, okay, the senior owns it, we have to do the same. So we basically digitize our head office. Our documentation is now workflow based. All of our GM and senior head level members have now laptops and they process their documents. It may sound to many of you from foreign and some domestic that what's so big in it? But I can tell you there is a huge big in it because we had to buy all that's how it is big. We have all of our zonal managers and our zonal audit officers now had their laptop last month. Before that, they didn't have those. So there is a huge investment and transformation going on. We have signed with, we will be signing with Grameen Communication for rejuvenating the software that we use. And through that, we will take it to our center manager level. And we are now slowly and gradually taking the mind space of our center managers who are basically still living on paper, pen and paper. So in our branches, you will find paper, 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 no PC, no computer, no nothing. So that's the changes we are bringing, that we have to introduce laptops or computers in all our 2,528 branches. We have 17,000 operating field officers. Those who have smartphone or feature phone, we have to transform them. So we are preparing our knowledge system, ecosystem, so that they can adapt, absorb the changes that we are bringing. And we have started dripping this to our zonal managers. They have their PCs. Interestingly, now we have a WhatsApp group where we interact. We believe that this interaction works better than sending a circular in the field. So these are the changes that we are driving and inspiring others to adapt, absorb, observe the market, because you have rightly said that market has changed. Many of our borrowers, our shareholder members, can now use mobile money. So they are exposed to that. They know how cashless works. But still then, the major challenges that microfinance in Bangladesh have is the penetration of smartphone, security in the smartphone, and security in transaction. One thing I have learned, as you said, that I have experienced from many different frontiers, that I always asked why my borrower, say a support worker in a house, wants to hold 1,000 taka note in their hand. Trust me, it is the mental strength they get from holding that physical currency. Tying up in their, at the corner of their sari, it gives them a mental strength. I have 1,000 taka, which still the digital money failed to create that appeal. That's what my finding is. Many of the members in this room may differ with me, but I still feel in that way. Holding that cash gives them mental strength, gives them assurance, gives them comfort. So yes, we want to go cashless, but we want to transit, and that security and losing money through scam, these knowledge education need to be there. Yesterday I said that we want to introduce 132,000 smartphones in our centers so that they can adapt and hold the technology and feel that what kind of comfort this technology can give them. penetration of smartphone is 40 to 45%. It's the true penetration. The numbers showing in the national statistics may show 52%, but it's due to I have two SIMs in one mobile. So it is showing the two smartphones. Okay. And many of our borrowers have shared phone, meaning their husbands have the phone. We have the phone number, but if we send a message, it goes to that phone, and she only can see that message once the husband is coming back home. So these are the realities that we are working with. These are the challenge we have in our frame of mind to boil and cook the right curry for them. On top of that, last but not the least, it is also one of my very experienced understanding that many of our borrowers cannot read what is there in the SMS. The reading literacy is not there. I'm saying that I have given my SMS, so I have done my responsibility, but that SMS they could not read. So we are thinking of voice-based interactive technology to be embedded into our system so that they can talk over phone and know their balance, know their transaction, know their things of those. So that's how we are basically planning and hovering to take this journey of Grameen Bank, which is a bank for the poor, bank for 10 million people, bank for 24,500 staffs.
Great, thank you very much. In fact, I remember many years back when these mobile technologies came in. Today, it's a completely different time we are living in. We tried out, it was probably 2007, I think, if I'm right, where we tried using those feature phones, which is the old phones, where we were trying to transact money. So we actually introduced that with a group of clients where mobile money had not come in yet. So we were trying to see how do we do that. We were hesitant to see how people will adapt to it. For my surprise, the learning was we taught a couple of them and the rest of the people learned from each other. And I could see at the ease at which the same poor women who don't know how to use the mobile phones, they were actually using it so very well, transacting. Of course, there are a lot of challenges after that. It's nice to see that because technology also brings in opportunities for mistakes and frauds. It's difficult to change that. Cybersecurity is an issue. Those are different issues, but the good thing was people, what we had thought they will take time to learn, they have been learning faster than what we thought about. I don't know what is your experience on that, but maybe we can, next time we can talk about that, but I'll come back to the next speaker. So Philip and Edsel, I'll come to you a little later because I think I noticed that all three of us have something more in common in the recent past, what we have been doing. So I'd like to ask Mr. Faisal. PKSF has been one of the most pioneered organizations. In fact, most of the world, even in India, we were looking up how do we set up one PKSF in India. I think Professor had been also tried to help us to look at how Indian government can set it up. But of course, it came much later than what it was thought of. So PKSF played a significant role in actually growing the whole financial inclusion in the country. Can you share your experiences? What are those important things which actually made the whole microfinance movement grow so well in the country? And what has been the role of PKSF? And what's your learnings in this last almost 3 decades of work here? What is that key source which actually made this happen?
Thank you, Mr. Suresh. What an enormous pleasure to be here with all of you today, especially in the presence of Professor Mohammad Yunus. Sir, happy birthday to you. What we learned, I mean, when PKSF was first established in 1990, I'd said this organization was based on the strategic vision of Professor Mohammad Yunus. And the strategic vision we had is we need to create a set of new breed of financial institutions in the country, which we now call MFIs. That concept wasn't there in 1990. And from the very beginning, we integrated institutional development with finance, and we conceptualized promotion of inclusive finance not as an ad hoc project. It has to be a perpetual going concern. We have to build institution, sustainable institution, not just financially sustainable. And the other, we have to take into account of other institutional issues. So we started poking our nose into every aspects of institutional development, and subject to adherence to a set of financial standards, we kept on providing perpetual finance to these targeted NGOs, the then NGOs. I can claim confidently that PKSF as a second-tier organization is the organization that shaped the microfinance sector of the country. Let's put aside Grameen Bank from here. We all followed Grameen model and we slightly differentiated it. Very different type of differentiated version of Grameen model. What we did eventually, we learned that finance doesn't work alone. Finance can create magic if a number of things happen together in a concerted manner. There are many other things, and we started integrating those things under finance. Using finance at the backbone, we integrated many non-credit services so that finance can work. We integrated preventive healthcare, value chain development services, business development services, skill enhancement, risk mitigation, and so forth. And we kept going because finance is a very strong tool. And we didn't restrict ourselves to only loan. Loan is, as you know, we started with loan, microloans, that actually ensured the entrance of tiny micro enterprises in the financial system. And later, from now, we are moving towards switching from poverty elevation to prosperity driven economic activities, targeting the same group of people. And we eventually came to understand that the people we are targeting, low income population, I hate to use the word poor, because some of the moneyed men we have found as the poorest people on earth. So disadvantaged people. They are not a homogeneous group of people. They are highly heterogeneous, and we need different solutions for different people. So we started with microloan, and a loan is what we understood is a vote of confidence in people. So we learned that finance can bring forth peace only if it contributes to social value creation, if it contributes to distribution of opportunities, if the financial architecture is designed to unleash human potential and expand the economic opportunities for mass people. If we can engage mass people in economic activities, in social value creation, and give them, not keep them as passive viewer of this enormous prosperity the world is watching today. Rather, if we can engage them in this value creation and give a significant part of this value, return in terms of return to them, then only finance can create peace in the society. And PKSF is trying its best to design its partner organization as a second-tier organization. We work through our partner organizations. We are trying to make very good example before the government, policymakers, and so forth, so that they can find this is a sustainable avenue for bringing forth social peace, harmony, and at the same time, productivity from a social perspective. Not, the financial architecture shouldn't fuel concentration of wealth, opportunities in the hand of few people. And that goal, if we can distribute it properly, if we can contribute to enlarge trust in people rather in wealth of people, if we can get away from collateral-based financial system to character-based system, then if character can replace collateral, then we will be able to make a much better peaceful world. And the existing, now we have devised what we call a blended financing mechanism. The credit remains in its heart at the center point, but we have grant, equity, insurance, not just debt insurance, business failure insurance, and preventive healthcare, and even climate resilience. I mean, in order to enhance their resilience to climate, only then finance can engage most people in creating social value. So what I see, the financial system, from our experience, it should be able to create some results like employment, environmental solution, I mean, market-based environmental solution, and at the same time, engaging people, expanding the horizon of economic opportunities for poor people. Equity should be distributed among many people, ownership among many people. So then that finance can really contribute in bringing social cohesion and peace. Finally, since the winning of Nobel Prize by Professor Mahmoud Yunus sir, he has been relentlessly propagating the idea of social business, which is a paradigm shift in thinking. But we can now expand the logic of social business, I think, in the way, if the huge global capital, if we cannot draw this capital into, if we cannot mainstream this into social business, since we are not allowing under the present concept participation in the upside of investment, I think we'll not be able to draw or attract, I mean, the vast global capital we have, because otherwise there will not be a transformative change in the present financial architecture. So it is possible, things are evolving, and we have to be demand-driven, but the philosophy will remain constant. Philosophy is to engage the people, most people, into economic activities. We have to keep the philosophy intact regarding maximizing social profit, not personal or individual corporate profit only. That is what we learned from the experiences of PKSF.
Thank you very much. I think that's a very important points you made. I think the key thing to Mike, okay. The key thing which you mentioned, which struck me, was we should move away from collateral-based financing to character-based financing. That's a fabulous thing. I'm sure if there are many institutions here who are lending who can take note of it. So coming to Philip, Credit Agricole has been pioneering the whole financial services, and you're partnered with Grameen, started the whole Grameen Agricole, Credit Agricole for many years. You have worked across many countries using that. So recently you joined hands with Grameen Trust and then had a gathering of all the Grameen group key people, personnel there, are leaders of Grameen, to look at how do we collaborate across, right? So what was the thought, what you all had to start that off? And what is that you want to share in this audience, that what was the reason for you to start that? What was the learnings you had, and what do you think you achieved from this?
Thank you, and I definitely thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak with you, and of course, happy birthday to our father. And I say father because I think that the way we why we wanted to have this, and when we discussed with the people from the Grameen Trust, why we wanted to have this meeting is that we had this feeling to be part of a family, but of extended family. And you know, it's when you are in an extended family, you have cousins, you have uncles, and so on. You heard about them, but maybe you don't know them that well, or it's not really clear what has been and what was their new things and so on. So that's the reason why when we have people from the Grameen at the board level, and of course Tasmina is member of the board. So we talked to them and we said, okay, we should maybe do something to have maybe a more concrete understanding about what is this family, how it works, and how we could do more things together. So we had a lot of work with you, Tasmina, and with Martin, and I really want to thank you for all the work we did together. And so we did organize this event. Unfortunately, at the time where we set up the date, because we have to put the date ahead of time, we didn't know it would be exactly the time of the election in Bangladesh, and so Professor Mohamed Yunus, you will not be able to join us, but thanks a lot for at least giving a message through the video. But Ashraful was with us and so on. So the objective was clearly to better understand who is part of this, and with the main objective to see what type of more collaboration we could have together, what could be stronger synergy that could be developed between the different actors. And when we launched the ideas, we didn't know exactly how many people will join and if people will be interested. But of course, without surprise, I mean, we were all together, more than 60 people, 25 organizations from 18 countries. So the way we structured the debate was to try to figure out how each of us we are dealing with the 3-0 program. So we set up 3 different plenary, with each plenary talking about zero poverty, zero net carbon emission, and zero unemployment. And then we had the last day where we really set up and work in small groups to say, okay, what can we do more? Do we want to do more things together? The idea is, I would say, not like here where we have a big gathering with thousands of people. Here it was really to see how very concretely, I mean, different organizations can do more things together, do collaborate more strategically together, and come up with maybe joint program together and so on. And to also to better understand what was the identity. So it went pretty well, and I'm very happy because I know that some of them are here, and it was a big pleasure to get a chance to see some of faces we had. We were together in Paris. So what was very interesting is that what came out is that definitely there is the willingness to strengthen the collaboration, to be able to come up with more concrete joint projects. The idea was to say, okay, how, because I mean, what I would say, what our father did is that it let us grow the way each of our organization wanted to grow, and so we have a very diversified setup of organization doing very different things on different subjects. But at the same time, I mean, there's this common value we have together, which is the legacy of you, Professor Mohamed Yunus. And I think it was really clear to all of us that we wanted to bring this value much stronger at the level of the international level where we work. And we wanted to be, of course, there to share what we are experiencing, all the experiences we had, because we have lots of experience all together. So there was these ideas of how we could come up with a common mission, vision, theory of changes, how we could set up maybe a platform of knowledge sharing, of experiences. We even thought about setting up a dedicated fund for some of us. I mean, we have lots of ideas, in fact. I mean, a lot of ideas, how we could be able also to have more direct contact, more regular contact together. And I think that, it shows the strength of all the organizations that have been gathered there, coming from as I said, lots of different countries, lots of different continents. So here now we're going to take the next step. I mean, we hope that it was clear to all of us that this meeting should not be the only one. I mean, that there should be more, but a little bit maybe more structures now that we know that there is this willingness to do something more concrete, because I think it's only by joining forces and have a common approaches that, I mean, we can have a strong message that is from the ground, I mean, from the different organizations. And I'm really hope that, I mean, that will be there will be next step in this process, and that's definitely part of the peace building process. There was very interesting experiences. I'm thinking, for example, about one of the partners I discovered when I was there. That's the Virunga Foundation. They are not here, but they're working in the this region in DRC where there's a lot of fight, and they realize that they are supporting a lot of small companies, and especially in the access to energy. And what was really interesting is that, I mean, they realized that by setting up this company, at least because one of the big issues in DRC is the fact that a lot of young people are involved in the army because of the war, and that because of this company, at least 10% of the people in this company were coming from the army. It was really an option for the people to get out of the army system. So, it's when you discuss about all of this that you see all the strength of what is happening within the network.
Thank you, Philip. Now I'd like to ask Edsel. I think we all aware that how the Grameen group of companies are coordinating and working together, right? But what you are trying to do is how do we join forces at a larger level, at the world level now. Actually, Edsel has an interesting thing. We all have learned from how Grameen is working with each other from yesterday, today, some of the presentations, the Grameen Kalyan, Suki, and how Grameen Bank clients and everybody has been benefited from various other services which different organizations are providing. Similarly, we would like to know, CARD in Philippines is also doing something similar to that. They have something very interesting to share on mutual, what is that? Mutually reinforcing institution, right? So I think, Edsel, if you can just share with this audience quickly. We do have a shortage of time, but if you can just share with what is that card doing on this MRI? And second one, if you can also answer about, you also talked, I think I and Edsel were talking just in the sidelines earlier. He said succession planning is one of the good things which they have done. I think the way he defined succession planning was completely different. I'll let him speak about it. It is not just about the institution succession planning, but also the succession planning at the staff level and also the clients level, because clients are changing. So probably over to you, Edsel, if you can actually talk a little more about succession planning at the clients level.
Okay, thank you very much. And before I start, of course, I want to greet Professor Yunus. Happy birthday in behalf of our leadership in CARD MRI. Thank you very much for the inspiration. We call ourselves CARD Mutually Reinforcing Institution because we, from an NGO way back in 1990, using the Grameen replication, CARD has evolved into almost 35 mutually reinforcing institutions, all social enterprise focused on helping the poor. We started as an NGO. We dream about setting up a bank like Grameen Bank, and we're happy to set up a bank. And those banks that we're able to establish are owned by our clients. We also have 3 micro-insurance companies that provide life and non-life insurance. We're also into education, which I lead the CNDI. We're now have 5 campuses and around 10,000 students and have produced 5,000 graduates. We are also into IT. We are also into marketing. We are also into health clinics. We're setting up hospitals right now. We are also into, that's 34 companies. I don't have enough time, but Just to tell you, we're working on health, education, business development, information. Believe it or not, the latest company we set up is a movie production. Not for us to earn, but to share the story of microfinance, the story of our clients, story of our staff as a part of our advocacy work. So we use different modules. So those are the different card MRI. You can visit our websites. And we are manned by 20,000 staff of card, in which around 90% are sons and daughters of our microfinance client. I have been a child of one of the members of CARD. My father and mother is a member of CARD Bank many, many years ago, when I was very young and very thin at that time. So Cardama is doing lots of things because we believe financial services is not enough to move people out of poverty. We have to solve other issues that makes them uncomfortable at night, especially access to health. That's why we have clinics, we have pharmacy, we even have a pharmaceutical company to produce medicines and vitamins for the children. And pharmacy that provides roughly 20% and free consultations to our clients. The insurance provides HMO. So with the health card, they can go to other hospitals and they will be treated equally. And the school, we continuously expand the school in order to support our clients because we also believe education is a very powerful tool to move people, to move their families out of poverty. If at least one or two or will be able to graduate or set up their, that will be a great help to the family, to the community. And speaking about the 20,000 staff, 35 companies. Well, the issue now is, the next question is about succession. Believe it or not, we only have a handful of maybe 2 or 3 coming from the generation of the baby boomers. Only 5% or 2 to 3% are X generation, and then the rest are coming from the new generation. So how we do the succession plan? We have a management committee in which we invite the emerging leaders. And these emerging leaders are being trained. They are provided with the capacity building programs because the values are already there. The character is already there. So what is important is to capacitate them for a bigger responsibility. That's where CARD invests a lot in capacity building programs. Degree program, non-degree program. And also, we also allow our young generation to participate and share their ideas. And tremendously, they are helping us because as our staff is emerging, also our staff and clients are emerging. That's why in order to continue the mission, we invest a lot on technology. This is where the new generation are very, very powerful. You have to unleash their power. So one is that we invested a lot in technology. We had our own banking system, our microfinance system. And last year, we launched the AI department. And we have a very, very good experience with that. It has been giving us tremendous return in terms of client being served. Because right now, we have a total of 10 million families and insuring around 30 million individuals in the Philippines. Another thing is that we started working with the new set of microfinance clients who happens to be the sons and daughters of our microfinance client. So we started doing microfinance for teenagers to prepare them if they want to start a business. Of course, with the guidance of their parents. So we can lend as early as 14 years old. And all the financial services can be provided by our financial institution. They can be covered by the insurance. At the same time, the other services of card will be also there. Health, business development, marketing assistance, access to different services. So right now, the school is also implementing. Last year, we were very inspired about the 3 zeros. And we have the first kind of its course in the Philippines, which is BS Entrepreneurship, specialized in microfinance. So every time a student will be presenting her project proposal of business, we ensure that this is also included. And in terms of client education, how do we inform them about the AI? We do client education, staff education, but we are not anymore doing the face-to-face. We are also using the technology. The latest one is that if you're a fan of the online movie, I'm not promoting anything. The Netflix, if you remember that. So what we did our own next clip. These are short movies, businesses on how to start business, how to manage your business on that platform. So anytime, anywhere, our clients, our staff, and our students can learn and use that learning to implement their businesses. So
Thank
that's
you.
what we're doing in Card MI.
That's great. Thank you very much. Yeah. I would like to say a few words on recent developments, what we have done among, as we are all working, Grameen Foundation USA and YSB from Germany. We all have started off and got into an alliance. Actually, after being working in this development space for almost 3 decades, what I've come to realize is in order to look at peace or address poverty issues, no one institution is capable of addressing all of that. At the same time, all institutions are doing a lot of work in silos many times, if you look at generally across the world. So we thought we should see how do we join forces between these two organizations. Fortunately, both these organizations are started by Dr. Yunus. So the biggest advantage we had was the vision and the mission was same. It was addressing poverty and the world of 3 zeros. So what we started off about a year back. So we started off working together and seeing how do we actually bring these organizations together. When you're looking at alliances or mergers, what is more important is the trust between the institutions, the trust between both these leaderships in the institution. We can write contracts and all later, but the contracts is just reinforcing the trust we have between, but it is not the other way around. So that's one of the things what we have done. So what we intend to do between these two institutions now is both institutions have slightly different approaches to addressing the poverty issues. Grameen Foundation has been looking at microfinance, working with the poor clients and providing them financial inclusion and building institutions which ensure that their financial inclusion is done in very safely and clients' interests are protected and so on. Whereas YSB has been looking at working with enterprises which are working with these clients. Like they provide various services, various products to the people at the bottom of the pyramid so that they can use that to come out of poverty. These are two different approaches. So what we are jointly going to be doing going forward is YSB's team would be providing the capital required by those enterprises. Grameen Foundation would be looking at training and building the capacity of the clients and so that they can start moving up. Another entity is looking at providing marketplaces, like, providing access to market, providing resources which is available in the market, which is very much needed for these two sets of institutions to operate. That's what we are working on. So Alex Counts, maybe he would have said more about this. So I have joined them. So we, all of us together between Grameen Foundation and this, we are joining forces so that we can bring in efficiencies, stop certain duplication of the works, what we are doing, and optimize the resources what we have so that we can work towards power building. This is what we are looking at. So key thing is if we, in the coming 1 year, we are looking at working mostly, particularly in India, Africa, and Philippines. And then once we stabilize all the processes, we might be continuing to expand it to other countries. Because if you look at the Grameen Foundation had been always working across many countries. So was YSB in working in many countries. So, but we will start working in one area, stabilize the processes and their teams and leaderships, and then move into the next, expand further. That's what we are trying to do. So one other point which I have realized, and I'll stop with that, is we have many institutions, if they have to work together, one of the things is they need to see beyond their logos and their own personal things. So if we remove that and look at the mission as the larger issue which we are all working towards, then probably the partnerships and alliances will work better. That's what I have learned in the last 1 year of working together with Grameen and Yunus. So we do have 1 minute time. Maybe if we can all take 30 seconds time and answer one question, because we all have, many of us have participated in the Social Business Day last year and this year. What is that one thing you think you want to share, which you have learned and which you want to share with this audience in this from the learnings from your last 1 year? Over to you, Arthur. Yes, you can start from you.
All right.
Maybe 15 seconds each of
I was
us.
laughing. 20 seconds. I think we are talking about financial inclusion. I would say let's do marketplace inclusion to our financially inclusive customers. They need a market. If we can connect to them, to the market, financial inclusion will give them capital. They will produce product. They will sell it in the market. They will become sustainable. Thanks.
Yeah, Philip. 15 seconds.
Yeah, no, I just want to come back to what happened during the last year regarding the drop of the international aid, because I think there's been a big impact on a lot of work. Yeah. And we did a study at the level of the foundation where we see that 60% have been more or less affected. So I think that what I want to say here is that I think that this issues is really a way to show that social business is definitely one of the solutions, because it depends less on international aid. But at the same time that, I mean, it's very important that, I mean, donors understand what is the leverage that they can get from the support of combining both, I mean, international aid with social business activities and so on that could make a difference. So I think that there's a shift in development right now, Ed, and I think that it's a really opportunity for us to take it, to grab it, as to say we could be one of the solution as the leverage.
Great, thanks. Mr. Fazil. It's on.
I think it's possible to redesign the financial architecture so that the growth can be, I mean, everybody can contribute to growth and can get equitable share. And the modern technology, especially the data management science, we can capitalize on that enormously. I mean, the kind of subjective things I said earlier, capability and all these things can be assessed now. And for example, in PKSF, we are devising psychometric tool to come up with a sustainable startup capital financing. Just a test of 10 minutes, you'll be able to assess the credit worthiness and entrepreneurial capability of a person who doesn't have any credit history. It is possible now.
Yes.
And at the same time, we need to create an environment so that the MFIs, these non-profit organizations, can have a strong balance sheet. That means diversification of their liability items, and at the same time, the investment of, their asset base, impact financing, startup capital financing, and many other things to unleash the potential of most people. That is also possible. And especially AI-based data management science. It brought forth so many opportunities before us, so many things we couldn't take care of earlier. We
Correct.
can take care of those things now.
Excellent.
Thank you.
You have 5 seconds now. Sorry. You have 5 seconds.
Okay, 5 seconds. I think our advice would be, with the experience of card MRI, imagine, be courageous, and do it with compassion.
Wow. Thank you. Naslima.
I think the lessons I have learned that that the growth is sustainable growth is not primarily about expanding the programs. It is also about building a strong system, and future leaders have a succession plans, and creating a shared vision that outlives even if there is changes in the leadership. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much. I will not try to summarize because we are out of time. I'm sorry to all the audiences here, because apologies, we couldn't take questions from you because of the lack of time. But I'm sure all my panelists are available here. And if you all have any questions you want to discuss, please do reach out to them during the breakout sessions. So thank you very much, panelists. It was lovely talking to you. Sorry if I've cut you off in between, but you have a lot to share, and I'm sure audience will get more benefited if you interact with them. Thank you very much.
Thank you.